Hello and welcome back to our channel. So in this video, we're going to be taking an in-depth walk around over the brand new 2023 Ioniq 6. This particular one is the SEL long range trim. We're going to start by looking at all of the wonderful features on the outside and work our way inside. So please have a look. If you have any questions, let us know. We're going to make a lot more videos, but we need your suggestions. And by the way, you're going to be seeing a couple different salespeople. So these videos will be recorded on different days and of course on different subjects of the car. So keep that in mind. Let us know if you want to see anything else. All right, so let's start with the front. The front is obviously not going to have an engine, but you will have some storage right over here. The stuff on the left and the right, you don't really have to worry about it because guess what? You do have that free maintenance. Moving on to the charging port, kind of important. These little indentations here will allow you to open up the charging port. Now you will have two buttons here. This one will close it right back up. And in case you missed it, pressing here will open it right back up. And this button right over here, if you have a charging schedule already set, it will override that action.
So on the Ioniq 6, you can open the trunk one of three ways, using the key right here, using this little button on the back right here, or you can actually use it through the smart lift gate. As you can see, you have a ton of space in the trunk of the Ioniq 6. You can also fold down the rear seats using these little latches. You just pull them and you can lower the rear seats.
To get to ambient lighting, go to Setup, Vehicle, down to Lights, and Ambient Light. Here you can control the brightness, up and down, also your color, white, blue, also link to drive mode, dimmed and dark, sync lighting with speed, and also link to voice recognition system. So new for Hyundai this year, we have our dual colors where you can set up already preset colors for the upper and the lower, or also set custom colors for your upper and lower as well. If you press the link to drive mode, it will change the color of the ambient lighting with the drive mode. Eco mode, normal mode, sport mode. Then we have dimmed and dark, which automatically dims mood lighting under darkened conditions. Sync lighting with speed, adjust the brightness of ambient lighting based on speed. And link to voice recognition, which links mood lighting to the audio system's voice recognition, providing visual feedbacks.
To go to your display settings, you go over here to Setup, then you're going to go to Display. You'll see the illumination here, which is the brightness of your screen. So you can make it dark or bright. If you don't want as much eye strain, you can use the blue light filter, and it's going to use more warm colors, better for your eyes. So you can adjust the setting on that as well. You can also schedule times. So if you're driving at night, it would be better to use this filter on the screen. You also have your camera settings here. You can display the contents. The display settings here, you can adjust the brightness. You can adjust how bright it is at night. You can also adjust the contrast. To schedule a time for your blue light filter to come onto the screen here, you can select schedule time and click here. And this is exactly when the blue light filter will be active.
To access screen theme and layout, go to Setup, go to Screen Theme and Layout. Here is the white. And for video purposes, we'll keep it on black. You also have the automatic display that will set to nighttime and daytime conditions. You also have the scheduled time, so depending on the time that you want, you can change it from white and black. From there, we have the cluster theme selection. You can link it to drive mode, or you could have theme A, B, and C. On the screensaver, you have the analog clock with several selections. You also have the digital clock or none. The digital clock is displayed there. You also have your split screen options. So depending on what homepage you're on, whether it be electric vehicle, weather, calendar, so on and so forth, you can opt in to have a split screen show possible media and your map. And to see what the screensaver would look with the analog clock, you go to display off, and that is the home screen. From here, you could also move your widget options. And to see your widgets, you would go to map and cycle through. For this feature, we're going to talk about quiet mode. Say you're playing your music loud. If you turn on quiet mode, it will turn off the rear speakers and lower the volume in the front. If you were to then increase the volume, it will keep the rear speakers turned off and only display music from the front speakers. So on your drive mode button, you can cycle from eco, normal, and sport, and please do notice that depending on which drive mode you're in, you will also change these pixels here. Currently, we are in eco mode, providing maximum range for the charge. If we go to normal mode, it's just going to be the car as is. In sport, you're going to sacrifice some of the range for more power output. If you press and hold, it'll bring you to drive mode. And on the all-wheel drive powertrain, you will also get a snow mode, which is optimized for icy road conditions. Here in the drive mode settings, you could also find My Drive Mode. In here, you could customize the settings to your liking. Under power output, you have maximized, standard, and minimum. You also have acceleration sensitivity like high, moderate, and low. You also have steering for normal and sport. If we go back out, you also have your brake mode that you could set to normal or sport. You could also toggle on your drive mode change alert or your climate control eco mode.
So today on the Ioniq 6, I'm going to be going over the driver assistance settings. So we're going to swipe, we're going to click setup, we're going to go to the vehicle settings, and this is going to be where all your driver assistance settings are. So I'm going to click on driving convenience. This is going to be your smart cruise control. So this is how it controls your smart cruise control from the car ahead of you. So you can actually control the distance, how far between you and the car ahead of you is, and then how your car accelerates. So you can have it accelerate slower or faster, depending on what you like. Also the reaction speed. So people usually like it really quick. You can have it on slow as well, depending on what works for you. Then if we go back, you actually have a speed limit assist. So this is an assist. Anytime you're going above the speed limit, you can actually have the car slow down for you and keep you at a certain speed. You can have it above 5 miles per hour, or you can have it below 5 miles per hour, the speed limit. So whatever works for you, or you can have it completely off. You have an option to turn it off as well. Then you have your warning sounds. So this is anytime someone's in your blind spot, or if you're reversing out of a spot, if someone's behind you, it'll warn you either through the haptic, which is the steering wheel will vibrate, or through the sound through the speakers. You can control all that through here. And then also you have your driver attention warning. So this is anytime a vehicle in front of you is departing, it'll actually warn you on the screen, and it'll provide an audible beep for you to make sure that you're paying attention to the road. Then you have your driver safety settings. So this is going to be all your safety settings right here. You have your front collision avoidance assist. You have your forward and side safety. So this is anytime it senses a side collision, it'll actually provide a warning and emergency steering when a a risk of forward or side collisions detected. Also, you have your lane safety, so this one will keep you inside the lane in your vehicle. And then you have your blind spot safety. So if someone's in your blind spot and you're trying to turn into that lane, it'll actually brake for you. I'll apply a warning first, and then I'll apply braking for you if you don't heed the warning. Also, you have exit safety. So this is anytime you're parked on the side of the road, if you're opening your door and a car's flying past you, it'll actually warn you that a car is flying by you. And then you have your parking safety as well. So anytime you're backing up, it'll actually warn you if someone's flying past you or if someone's behind you. So today on the Ioniq 6, I'm going to be explaining your EV settings. So if we click on the home screen EV right here, this will actually show you what the nearest nearby charger is. Also, it'll show you your battery percentage, and say you have your AC on, right? It'll actually show you what your range is with AC compared to what your range is without AC. And then if we click this button right here, this will go to your EV settings. So this will show you your different charge settings. So you can actually adjust the maximum charge from both the DC fast charger and the regular level 2 charger. So if you don't want to overcharge your battery, which a lot of people worry about with electric cars, you can actually have it set to 90% for the fast charger or for the level 2 charger. And then you can actually adjust the actual charging current of the level 2 charger. So if you want a maximum, which will provide you with the fastest charging on the level 2 charger, or you can have it on reduced or minimum in case you don't want to overcharge your battery. And then you have your battery conditioning mode. This is what you're going to keep on. Whenever you set a destination to a fast charger, it's automatically going to condition the battery for when you reach the charging station. It's going to be at optimal conditions for it to charge. Then you have your utility mode. This is anytime you want to use the car as a generator. So you can actually turn on utility mode. It'll deactivate the engine and it will actually be in utility mode so you can use it as a generator. And then you have your smart regeneration system. So this is your regenerative braking. You can actually have it on a slower or smoother deceleration, or you can have it on a strong deceleration. So this is gonna adjust to whatever regenerative braking setting that you have on already. Then you have your charging locking mode. So this will actually have the charger lock whenever you plug it in, or you can have it not to lock whenever you plug it in, or you can have it just when you're charging. And then you have your charging voice prompts. So anytime you want to have audible sound, whenever it tells you you're charging the car, it'll provide it. You can have it on high, low, or off. To access the door and trunk settings, you're going to click setup and then vehicle, and then scroll down to door. And this is going to be your door and trunk settings. So the first thing we have here is auto lock. Anytime you speed up or whenever it shifts, it'll automatically lock all the doors. Also, same thing for unlocking. Whenever you shift to park or when the vehicle's turned off, you can set it to either or to automatically unlock the doors for you. Also, you have the approach unlock. So this is great whenever you walk up to the car and you have your key in the pocket, it'll automatically unlock the door handles for you. Then you have your 2-press unlock settings. So this is anytime you want to unlock the car. If you press it once, it'll only unlock the driver door. If you press it twice, then it'll unlock all 4 doors. Then you have your trunk settings. So this is going to have a power trunk. You can actually adjust the height of how it opens. So you can have it open halfway or full. Then you have your smart trunk settings. So this is going to be anytime you approach the car with the key in the pocket, it'll beep a couple times once you approach the trunk, and then it'll automatically open up for you. So in case you're holding something, you don't have to worry about pressing a button. It'll automatically unlock it for you. Then you have your remote window control. So this time it enables and disables the remote window control function. So it will actually disable it or enable it, whatever you like.
So in the all-new 2023 Ioniq 6, you have some vehicle convenience settings. Swipe right and hit setup. If you hit vehicle, scroll all the way down to convenience, you have these three options. Now the first one is going to be your rear occupant alert. Now with this one, when you park and get out of the car, if you have something in the back seat, this is actually going to remind you to check the back seats just in case you leave any unattended items or people back there. Then you also have a service interval. This is going to allow you to either reset the distance, enable or disable the service interval, which is just a reminder. And then you also have the duration and the reset down here as well. Okay, and last but not least, it's going to be the wireless charging system. And this is how you enable the pad, which is located down here. So on the all new 2023 Ioniq 6, we have some shortcut buttons to show you. So we're going to swipe right, hit setup, and then you can hit this button called button. And this one pretty much brings up the different options you have to set up shortcuts for the different buttons around the vehicle. Now, there are only a few. Most are located on the steering wheel, and then you do have a star, which is right here under the infotainment system. So the first one, which is going to be the first star on the infotainment system, you can pretty much set it to one of these different buttons. You have EV, home, radio, Bluetooth audio, driver assistance settings, phone projection, setup, quiet mode, display on and off, HD radio data, and Wi-Fi hotspot. Now you can also leave it alone too, but just to show you how it works, I'm going to set it to display. And if I hit the shortcut button, it turns it off. And then you can hit it again to turn it back on. There you go. And then same thing, if you set up the star shortcut button on the steering wheel over here, you have these options, which would be reject or end call button, change hands-free calling device. So all of this is pretty much self-explanatory. They even have descriptions under each option. You also have a mode button. This one's also located on the steering wheel. And these are pretty much audio options. And then you also have these arrow keys, which I do believe are new, but you do have a change preset station and also a change station frequency. You have those two that you can toggle through. All right. And last but not least, we have this last one, which is going to utilize the volume and tune knobs. Pretty much you can set up whether you want pushing them in as a button to function as a turning off the power of the volume, or browsing the media, map, zoom in or zoom out options. And you can also swap them as well. And there we go. So on the all new 2023 Ioniq 6, you have some menu buttons on the steering wheel that we can scroll through. Now, first and foremost on this screen, this will actually display some safety and driver assistance information. For instance, if you're utilizing the lane keep and lane follow assist, the lanes will become highlighted. And let's say you start to stray out of one of the lines, one of them will actually display which lane you're straying out of. Now next, we have the trip computer. And on this screen, it pretty much displays information about how far and how long you've traveled. Also, there's an option to display how long and far you traveled after your last recharge too. And then you also have accumulated info. Now here we have a compass screen. And last but not least, you also have information about the tire pressure. And also, if we scroll, you also have information on the energy output of the vehicle as well. So on the all new 2023 Ioniq 6, we have a good amount of steering wheel buttons to go through. Now starting from the left, first and foremost, at the top we have your adaptive cruise control. Now with this is adaptive, so this is how you turn it on, and this is how you set the speed. Now if you actually run down here, this is how you set the distance on the adaptive cruise control, okay? Now coming back up here, this is how you toggle through the menu on the instrument cluster. I'll go ahead and touch that in case you can see it. And then this is how you toggle through turning on the lane keep assist and lane follow assist. Now one press is how you activate the lane follow assist, but if you hold it down, that's going to operate on the lane keep assist. And that works for turning it on and off as well. Okay. Now scrolling through this is how you scroll through the instrument cluster menu. And this is also how you either decrease or increase the speed of the adaptive cruise control. Now, if you press it in like a button, that's going to pause and resume, which is that middle option right there. All right. So remember, up is to increase speed, down to decrease speed, and then push it in like a button to pause it or resume the adaptive cruise control. All right. And then moving over. Oh, also this button right here, if you push it in like a button, that's how you select things on the instrument cluster menu. Okay. Moving over to the right side, you have mode, which is a shortcut button. So you can press it if you already have it programmed, but if you don't, you would hold it down all right, to reprogram it. Same thing with this star button. This is also a shortcut. Same thing, you would tap it or hold it down if you want to reprogram it. Then you also have dynamic voice command. This is how you command either Siri or the car to do different things like call someone, map you directions to a place, etc. This is going to be how you call out or bring up the phone menu. So you can just tap it if you want to bring that up.
Turn Bluetooth on from your device in order to search.
Oops. And then also, this is how you toggle through if you're on the radio stations or if you're selecting through songs. So you would either tap up or down. And then last but not least, this is going to be your volume button. You can either scroll to increase the volume or lower it to decrease the volume. And you can press it in like a button to mute the sound completely. And last but not least, we have one more button down here. And this is going to be how you toggle through the drive modes. So you have a few different selections, eco, normal, and sport. But if you hold it in, it goes into a snow mode. And also, I don't want to forget the biggest button of them all.
All right, we're going to be going over the climate control in the Ioniq 6. Very, very simple and straightforward. You're going to have a couple of little touch style buttons here. Very self-explanatory. Red means hotter, blue means colder. You're also going to have defrosters right here, front and back, recirculation, turning that on and off. This will of course change the flow of air, whether it's at your feet or towards your face. Auto will automatically put all the settings in the car to reach the desired temperature. So it'll just do what it needs to do. This particular one right down here will lead you to this screen right up here. Now, you are also going to have some climate settings right over here. Let me turn this down for a second. You're going to have options to recirculate anytime you use washer fluid or anytime you enter tunnels. So some people don't like the smell of washer fluid, and this will stop that odor from entering the cabin. Entering tunnels. So also another time where there's going to be a lot of smog in the air. You probably don't want that air inside the vehicle. Automatic dehumidify will automatically, it's pretty self-explanatory, will automatically remove any humidity from the windows. So it'll detect that itself. Smart ventilation. So this one will actually let fresh air into the car every 10 minutes or so if you do have the recirculation on. Defog and defrost will automatically defog and defrost the windows. Same with this one here. AC automatic drying. So this one will, the car has little sensors inside of all of the air ducts in here, and depending on how much moisture there is in there, it'll automatically switch it over in order to prevent dripping and whatnot. Now, if you go right over here to front climate, you'll have a couple other settings.